Hey friends, welcome to a long overdue front porch chat. So here we are sitting on the front porch. We're turned sideways today because we came out here to film and it started raining. So we're not gonna fuss about the rain. We're gonna be
good
happy.
rain, good afternoon rain.
We need a nice gentle rain. So if you're new to the front porch chats, we try to do these once a month. It has been a couple of months since we have done one because spring is just an absolutely very full, very busy season between the nursery, the house, and life in general.
Yeah, so we're doing so much content and growing and planting and
Right.
all the new stuff, and we do 5 videos every week, so it just didn't really fit in.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So here we are today. So we're going to do a little just catch up, kind of give you the state of the nursery, as we shall say, things that are happening, things that are going on, updates, and then we're going to hit some of your questions and talk about those. So it has been a very busy spring for us, and we're starting to get to the end of the major installs here at the nursery and the house with the plants.
Right. So I think all the big ones, like as far as the big annual plantings.
Yes, I still have a couple of more gardens that we
cool
have to
spots
do.
to do.
Yes, and then of course the chicken coop is almost
Right.
done. A couple more days and we should be good to go. And then so I have started to think and dream about the gardens surrounding that, and so I've got some ideas coming up. And I know I said in some of those areas I wasn't going to start planting right away, but that's a lie I tell myself. So if I ever say, oh, I'm not going to plant this anytime soon, just ignore me. It's probably not going to be very true. So
I don't even know when the last time we did one of these. Do you remember?
it's been a while. I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah.
It may have been cold.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I
cool.
was trying to remember.
Yes.
I know yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So just to show you, it's crazy because here it is, the middle of June, and we're talking about, talking to all these different people, and not just, it's just people in general, and we're all like, where has the year gone? Like, how in the world has half the year already passed? And it is mid-June, and we have I went out this morning and cut a beautiful bouquet of the dahlias because the dahlias are really cranking up. And like this time last year, I had just put them in the ground.
Yes.
Like I had just put the tubers in the ground, and this year I've got full massive plants with beautiful.
Yeah, that whole spot just looks way different this year than it did last year, so I'm pleased.
Yes, very pleased with it. All right, anything else you want to chit chat about before we get into people's questions?
No, it's been good that everyone's been coming. We've been the people that we've met so far. It's been awesome to talk to everybody that we can meet and get to talk to.
Yep.
I don't know if there was questions, about. That's why I was asking a question about last time we did one of these, or last time we talked about just things going on at production. We did the new potting machine that came in. We got that installed. And then just this week finished the indoor painting of the annex building that was going to be used for our boxing and shipping station for plants.
Yeah, I did have somebody ask if how the annex was going. So,
okay.
Well, maybe in one of these videos we're doing kind of a day in the life, we'll show you, because yes, it got painted and it is beautiful inside of there.
It is.
We went to go see it yesterday and I was like, whoa.
Right.
It looks great.
It's a transformation.
It is.
Okay, I'm sure.
Okay, so another thing that happened this spring, which will lead us into this next question, is we were contacted way back in January, February. It was late winter when the folks at HoseLink contacted me with the interest of coming here to do their spring photo shoot, which of course we were super excited about, and they were great to work with, and asked when would be a good time of year, to come. And so they came this earlier it was late May that they came and did a 3-day photo shoot. They were here for 3 days and shot for 2 days. And so one of the photo shoots was just on their solar lighting, which is a new addition to their products. Fantastic, amazing, like was blown away with them, and they were kind enough to do a giveaway to our viewers. And so we opened that up and just said, comment on the video and you're automatically entered in to win. Well, unfortunately, we live in a world where you just can't leave it at that, right? So I was battling like daily, blocking and reporting all of these scammers who were trying to take advantage of not me, but of you, the viewer. And they had stolen our profile picture, and they had either tried to copy our name. They can't copy our name exactly because that is our channel. And so they were trying to get you, the viewers, to say, hey, you won, you know, contact blah, 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 blah. And so the first kind of question with that is from Tammy, and she said, I got an email telling me to go to Telegram and put in my name. Is this correct, or is this a scam? It came from YouTube email. So those were all scams. We would never ask you to text us, click on the link, do this, or submit any kind of personal information whatsoever. We don't use Telegram, like none of that is us. So that was a scam. And anytime that when you're on YouTube and you make a comment on YouTube, and whoever, doesn't matter who it is, responds to your comment, YouTube will send you a notification saying, hey, Gardening with Creekside #1, not us, responded, replied to your comment, and it'll look like you've won. We did the drawing on Saturday, which we announced in the video when we did. We said we're going to announce the video winner on Saturday. So we did that yesterday, and that was Damien, and Damien has already been in contact legitimately with each other. And so Damien won the $250 solar lights. So just know, anybody on YouTube, probably, if you get an email and it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So just be aware of that. We do not want you to be...
That goes that way for about anything.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yes. So we do not want anybody to be taking advantage of you. Now, going on with, I'm going to scroll through here. Going through those kind of same comments with the HoseLink solar lights. Garden Fun with Polly said, love your garden in the area. Talking about the cottage garden, when I was in the cottage garden working on that, and we had the solar lights going up. She said, can I ask where you found your lights by the stairs? Are they solar? Thanks for your awesome advice and joyfulness every time. So yes, those lights going up the pathway to the cottage garden are part of the HoseLink line, and they are fantastic. They are motion activated, and they stay on like all night. So really great quality lights. And we always have a link in our video description, so you can click on that link for HoseLink and it will take you to their site and you can shop there. And then Billy said, I have a question on the jar lights. How many hours of sunlight do they need to stay lit all night? So I was looking on HoseLink's website, and they said 6 to 8 hours. So as long as they get 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight on their panels, then that will give them a full charge. And I think I've said this before, but the sun starts to go down around 8:30ish at night. They'll pop on, and then they stay on until like 6 o'clock the next morning.
They're on all night.
They're on all night long.
Yeah.
So great ones.
It's easy setup.
Oh my word, absolutely. Like so easy. You don't have to do, like literally stick it in the ground and there you go.
Yeah.
2009 USN asked, the lights are beautiful and functional. Do they work as well in zone 6? As long as you get 6 to 8 hours, it won't matter what zone you are. So zones have nothing to do with it. They just need to have 6 to 8 hours. So you could be in, I don't know.
It's more about
Alaska, or you could be in
I guess
South Florida.
There's certain parts that get more sun.
Well, it's just you need 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you have 6 to 8 hours, they're going to work. So that's the great thing about the solar lights. They're not zone dependent. So there you go. All right. Let's see. What else are we going to go to? Oh, why don't you explain your little YouTube short with the power planner that we did the other day?
YouTube short with the power planner.
Yeah.
So you have a question?
I want you to I want you to set it up. Like,
Oh yeah, so
tell the people.
we were doing the implanting back there for the big entrance bed. Had all of these grande plants to plant along with some 1 gallons, and it was great. We were sitting there using the heavy duty auger, which is the 460 DeWalt drill, and the heavy duty tip auger. It's the 5-inch with a heavy duty tip. So Jenny and I were just sitting there rolling with it, and we decided, well, let's see how
Make
fast,
a little competition out of it.
Yeah, let's have some fun and see how many holes we can drill. I was going to do 12, and how fast it could take them to get them done, because it was 12 plants in that row. And the whole point of it was to show that you can drill 12 holes fairly quickly.
Absolutely.
It wasn't really like 12 holes to do in the ready clay, which I can do.
Right.
You know.
So that's what that is. Oh my goodness. Amia, I don't know. There's a lot of A's and a lot of M's in there. Says, how's that on heavy clay?
Heavy clay. So it will drill through the heavy clay.
Yes.
So the point is, in that particular video, was just that we're going to knock it out. We've already prepared. That soil that came in there was prepared, but it still was faster to use the 5-inch auger to do 12 holes than it would have me on my knees with a trowel, and it had gotten compacted. So it was nice to fluff it up for the new plants to go in.
Yeah.
But what we'll do next is that we'll show you. I mean, we drill it all the time in heavy clay soils, and
that's what we have.
That's why you want the heavy duty tip, because it has that attachment on the end, and then it has the carbide blades that cut through the clay, which all of those parts at the front of the auger are replaceable. So I think it'll be good for us to do an in-depth video on, using the augers in heavy clay soil. And it would be really interesting to see if I was going to plant some, which I wouldn't plant annuals in heavy clay. That would be amended.
Yes.
So that's another
That's a whole nother video.
Whole nother tip, or a whole nother question. But if I was going to plant shrub or tree, and then yes, we're going to drill through it.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we have Regina ask, do you keep backup batteries charged when you use your auger? My drill dies after 10 to 12 plants using my power planter auger.
Yeah, I don't.
So we do have backup batteries. So we do, because we use the DeWalt products on a lot of things.
Yeah, so my question would be, you may have brought a power planter auger bit, but do you have a DeWalt drill?
Right.
And what kind of drill do you have? What size of the battery it is?
Yep.
And
how hard you're using that drill.
And how hard you use it. You can take our big one with the 9 amp. It's the biggest battery that goes on there.
Yeah, it's huge.
And you can give it to somebody, and they can power through it and burn the battery out faster than you really need to.
Right.
It's more about technique and usage on the auger, the drill itself.
Right. So the question is, what kind of drill do you have for the auger? What size battery do you have?
Yep.
And how are you going full throttle, or are you going more slow and steady? Because with our clay soil, even with the drill that has the E-clutch, I don't go full bore on it. Like, I am conservative.
Yeah.
But that battery will literally last days. Like, I can plant a gazillion plants.
Yeah,
on that
Jenny's
battery.
she'll run the battery a long time and plant a ton of plants. And I can run it faster at times, which then
wears the battery
down. But I'm just for an example, we planted 1,500 4-inch, or what you would call a 4-inch product, or a grande size 1.7 liter little cup from Proven Winners. I know there were 2 augers going for that, so let's say we split it. We did 800 with same battery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we keep them back. We keep backups to answer your question, but
what we do.
It's more about technique, the types. You get what you pay for on the batteries, and the type of brand of product you're using.
Yep.
So.
All right, so switching topics a little bit here. Since we're still technically in spring, but we're getting very close to summertime here. So this comes from,
Summer's creeping in.
Yes, our friend from Atlanta, Georgia. He says, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and would like to shop and haul plants next year at your nursery.
Yep.
When is the best time to come by to get some proven winter annuals and hydrangeas? I usually just do one planting for the whole season during early spring.
Okay.
So that was a great question, because we do have a ton of folks who travel to us. We get a bunch of people from the Atlanta area, a bunch of people from upstate South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia. I mean, we get them kind of all over. But we do get a lot of people from that Atlanta area who come literally with their U-Hauls or their trucks and load up a gazillion plants.
Which is a great way to do it.
Which is a great way to do it. Do exactly what he's talking about. Do a one-stop shop and come in here and get your plants. Really, the best time would be, I would say, mid to late April, because you have a different opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Well, I say almost all of it is close. I guess what you're saying is that maybe it's all of it's more of a breadth of a selection.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because that's where the hydrangeas. We have the hydrangeas right now. They're not going to be blooming.
They'll be dormant.
Yeah, they'll be dormant, or they're going to be just
Yeah.
popping out with their leaves. But that's a great time, especially in Atlanta, Georgia. If you do not want to be planting hydrangeas in Atlanta, when they're blooming, which could be July. You want to do them when they're earlier so they can get established. And then as far as like getting the best selection of the annuals, is that if you want, because he's in Atlanta, so he could be warmer, late April,
problem.
early May. That's when you're going to have the best selection. Obviously, we have plants. We have plants before and after.
We do. We really start selling pretty good towards the end of March. There's certain plants that would be gone by the end of April, certain annuals.
Maybe, but those also could be like the cool weather annuals.
Yes.
Yeah,
which he probably wouldn't.
You probably wouldn't want.
Yeah.
Okay, so see, one question, two slightly different answers on that. So just come see us in early spring.
I would say, mid-April is a good
Yeah, because you can still get a frost.
You could. Yeah, that April, mid-April, April 15th here was our busiest Saturday ever. So it's always sort of kind of the busiest Saturday. Mm-hmm. So that's always a great time.
And if you can come on a non-Saturday, like if you don't like crowds, Saturday is by far is our busiest day in the spring. So if you could come Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, it tends to be a little bit slower. We're going to switch directions here. This is from Jen. Hi, Jenny. I hope you don't mind me asking, but the pants you're wearing in this video and the gray ones in your last nursery tour look unbelievably comfortable. Would you mind sharing the brand's names? Thanks. So I have gotten a ton of questions about my clothes, and especially like my summer clothes. I often get comments about like a certain top or pants or whatever, but it's happened a lot this summer because I think, we're all, if you're watching us, then you're probably going to be outside too, like we are. And I have two main stores where I get my kind of sun protective summer clothes, and one is Coolie Bar. They're both online, so I just order online. One is Coolie Bar, which they do a ton of different stuff in sun protective clothing, all the way from like small children, men's, women's, all seasons, right? So they cover all sun protective clothing. So a lot of my shirts come from Coolie Bar. Just pay attention to the weight of the shirt because some are more heavier than others. In the summertime, of course, I go for the lighter because they're more breathable. And then when I recently discovered the end of the season last year is Free Fly. And Free Fly, they gear a little bit more towards like fishermen and fishing. But they have great, they do men and women's, and they have, Jerry's gotten a couple of shirts this year and loved them, but my pants came from Free Fly. They also make fantastic shorts and skirts for women, and then their tops I love too. So when you're outside 6 days a week for 8 to 9 hours, you know, you need to take care of your skin. So, and it's actually a lot, for me, I find it much cooler to wear the long sleeve shirts than like a t-shirt, a cotton t-shirt. So free fly and coolie bar.
Yep.
All right. Let's see if we can hit another question. Let's see. All right. One of the last videos, it may have been our last video that we did, was right here on the front porch where I was planting up the aquapot that is behind me, and we did some irrigation work on the baskets and things. And Lynn said, new to all this, beautiful home and plants. I'm sorry, you keep calling that beautiful flowering plant as apple blossom. I've tried looking it up, but get nothing like that. Tried reading the tag, but couldn't. Help. So I thought I said it was a new begonia for next year. So that's one reason why you couldn't find it, is because it's not been released yet. So it's a 2024 introduction. But this is the Double Delight Apple Blossom Begonia from Proven Winners. So it is a begonia. And I currently have the Double Delight Primrose Begonia, which is a lovely yellow. But yes, the apple blossom that's in the pot behind me, it is a begonia. And you should be able to get it next year from Proven Winners or your local garden center. If your local garden center doesn't carry a lot of Proven Winners, then you will be able to order it online. But yeah.
And then hopefully, if we get the online rolling,
you can order from
go
Creekside.
with the garden with Creekside.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So that Double Delight Apple Blossom Begonia.
Yep.
We had a lot of questions about that. So sorry. It had already been kind of a long day, and we were trying to get in. That was the second video I had filmed that day, so it was a little...
Sidebar here, though, speaking of online,
yes,
though, is that we are working with our team to get the logistics nailed out for that.
Yep.
We have a tentative date of September, and I would just say September. I have a date that we put down for the team, but I'm not going to talk about that. And then we'll just say September. And that will be shrubs only to begin with.
Yes, and then we will introduce perennials.
Annuals.
And annuals.
Yep.
All right. Sherry asked with that same video, is that a Michael Carr aquapot? The one that we were talking about behind us. Yep. Yes, it is. So that is the companion piece to the aquapots that are at the pergola at the nursery. When we buy aquapots, we have to buy them a pallet at a time. You don't buy, even for us, we don't buy individual aquapots. We buy them as a pallet. And that particular style had 3 different sizes. So you had the large as at the pergola. This was the medium, so I had one here, and then the one up by the gate to the nursery. That is the other one. And then we sold the 2 smaller pieces when they came in. That was
falling blue.
Yeah, but 3 or 4 years ago.
The color was called.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we tried to order a pallet of that color for this year, and it had been discontinued. So
yes.
So we went with volcanic milky blue, and those have sold. We sold those out.
Yep. Switching topics again. Here we go with Cheryl. Says, Jenny, that black gold raised bed mix, can it go into a wood framed above ground level vegetable bed? Absolutely.
Exactly. Yes.
That is exactly what it is intended for.
Right. We're using it because we only have, 5 raised beds back there?
5, and one of them has herbs.
And you could use it in a container also,
yes,
just depending on what you're wanting to do. That product is certified organic, OMRI listed, so you know that it has all organic certified material in there.
Yes.
If it doesn't have OMRI stated on the bag or OMRI listed, then it's not truly organic. They haven't paid for that certifications, which then means it's not certified. So, yeah, you can use it. We're using it for big beds or big annual planting beds. It's a cool little trick or tip, to enhance your annual planting beds. And to make it easy to plant in. If you don't have something like an auger or something like that, you can make it thick and plant your material right in it.
And we've done that several times, and
Yeah,
the flowers are
starting to,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
They are absolutely
rocking.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So I think that is all the questions that we have for today.
For today.
Because a lot of them were, I know it was a kind of a distance away, and we didn't want to go to like, we didn't want to go from videos that were like 3 months ago. Y'all were like, what in the world?
Recently, and we're just, Jenny and I would handle a couple of topics that we know that we haven't talked about lately, and
yeah,
lots going on as always, but projects to come. We have the signature garden, Proven Winner signature garden to install.
Yep.
Hopefully starting this summer, be open, parts of it be open by this fall. And so we have a pretty good plan for that.
Yes.
That Jenny and I have talked about ourselves and coming up with the design ourselves. It's there'll be questions that from that I've seen. You know, can you do your own thing? And you know, blah. It's totally on us. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is totally on us.
Yeah, we design
only stipulations they have is their plants want to be labeled that as signature garden is that it's
the vast majority of their plants,
yes.
right? So we get to decide how big it is, the layout, the design, everything, and obviously since it's a Proven Winner signature garden, the vast majority of plants in there will be Proven Winners. Where we would supplement is if Proven Winners doesn't have a plant in that category, like if it doesn't have a magnolia.
To bring in a blue atlas cedar to accent a hill that we created, then that's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if I wanted to use my beloved, tea olives, the sweet osmanthus. Well, Proven Winners doesn't have a sweet osmanthus, so that's where we would, do things like that.
Yes.
So lots of fun, lots of big things coming up. We are going to, one of our videos that we're going to get done this week is because we're kind of moving into that season of where we've done a lot of the plantings. Now we're moving into maintenance and then garden tours. So we have we're going to do a full garden, all-encompassing garden tour of the gardens, both here at the house and at the nursery, to give you a perspective of the vastness of. We have 8.5 acres here that we sit on, and the nursery's on. Part of the nursery's on an additional piece of property of my parents. So we have a total of 32 acres. Sorry, 32 acres. The vast majority of it, though, is on our 8.5, and so we're going to show you that. It's going to be a humdinger of a video for sure, because it'll take a minute.
We were just talking. We have never really taken the time to do that. It's not something we have done in the past, and so it'll be new for us.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun because the daylilies are in full bloom. So we want to take advantage of that and show you that. But yes, as always, thank y'all so much. We so appreciate all of your love and support. It is so much fun to meet y'all when you come visit us here at the nursery. It is a great time and so wonderful to see all of your sweet faces in person, because we don't get to see you. You get to see us, but we don't get to see you. So we appreciate you. As always, we hope you have found this fun, informative, and inspirational. Thanks so much for going with Creekside. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.